How does the oppression of one person lead to the oppression of the world? In the church recently, we've been hearing stories of the ancestors of the Jewish people, the stories of Jesus' ancestral family. And the last 2 weeks, we've been hearing the story of Joseph. Joseph was the favourite son of Jacob, and he had a lot of brothers. They all had the same dad, but they had different mums. Joseph's mum, Rachel, was Jacob's favourite wife, so he was treated like a prince, and he had this really fancy, colourful cloak. You might even call it a ball gown. And he wore that cloak when he went out into the fields to inspect his brother's work while they were looking after the sheep. Many of those brothers were the children of slaves in the household. So they didn't have the same rank in the household as Joseph. And Joseph was always telling everybody about how he was going to rule over them. He'd had dreams that he was going to rule over them. He'd inspect the work that his brothers were doing, and he'd report back to Jacob, their father. And he brought back a bad report. Jacob was really happy with Joseph, but his brothers hated him, and they decided they were going to kill him. Because the cloak was so bright and elaborate, they could see him coming from miles away. One of the brothers, Reuben, had the idea, no, let's not kill him, let's sell him as a slave. Let's show him what it's like to be the one who has to serve others. Let's put an end to his ideas of ruling over us. So they sell him as a slave. He ends up in Egypt, and he actually becomes a very important slave in Egypt. He becomes the slave of the Pharaoh. He's still a slave, but he has to manage the whole of the kingdom's affairs. And what he does is very tricky. He does what's been done to him. When there's a famine, he uses that opportunity to buy the land off all the people so they can have something to eat. And when the famine continues, he uses that opportunity to buy them all into slavery. The slave has enslaved everybody. And the famine ends up affecting his family too. His family come looking for food, and he welcomes them into Egypt. But in the end, they all become enslaved. So the enslavement of some in the household has led to the enslavement of all of them, to the enslavement of nations. But the way that the story goes, and we'll hear more about this in coming weeks, is that God was with them in all of that suffering and all of that struggle, and God was listening to them when they cried out.